Hello and most welcome to a little lecture about the law of attraction. The inspirational point here was a discussion the other day. We're talking about faith, direction and purpose of life. And someone said that universe itself is completely purposeless. It's just an agglomeration of atoms, and in the infinity of the universe, we human beings have to make do for ourselves to create some sort of meaning. And that is actually very close to existentialism. So Jean-Paul Sartre or Camus or some of the other guys. And people are not aware of this. I would like to disagree with this in all due respect. The reason is that I don't think we have two sides of everything. That there is a sort of hopeless, deterministic, atomistic and cold reality. And on the other hand, we humans are sort of warm inside, at least. Sartre would agree that we're at least blood-filled somehow. And that we inhabit this cold world and we are small dots of warmth. No, actually, oddly enough, this is not in line with physics at all. I think the reason why people like Sartre and Camus do cling to this idea has to see with that people think classical physics, Cartesianism is correct in some way. That there are hardcore facts somewhere says that the universe is really cold. No, we are deeply connected to the reality. We are not atoms, inhabiting a cold place. No. And something I like there is something called the law of attraction. So if you think the universe is cold and soulless, it will become a cold and soulless place for you to live in. Just like it was for Jean-Paul Sartre. He created his own world. You create. You do of this world whatever you want to. Are the signals to the outside negative? That you won't succeed and that there is no happiness and that there is no love. You will receive that. So what is better if you want to become a positive existentialist, if there is such a thing, I don't know. That is, do be responsible for your own existence. And by that I mean be responsible for your own existence means that you put effort into it to signaling positive ideas, ideas of connection. And listen carefully, connection and direction, so that the things in the universe are not meaningless. Remember synchronicity. Synchronicity is not an odd fact that you can find in a mystery book. It is something you find in a physics book. It's something that people get Nobel Prize for. It's something that is used to make a mobile phone. It's not a belief. This is how the world works. The belief is chance, causality in the classical form, and determinism. We know these to be wrong. I'm sorry if you can't see it, it's a bit dim here. But chance, causality and determinism. If you direct that in your own life, your life will be shaped by that. It will be chance. You will not succeed. You will not get these lucky opportunities. Destiny has come to me a couple of times. To be honest, I ignored it mostly. I was a bit shocked. Once upon a time it came in the form of a painting. Some of you might remember. Those are very, very important things. They tell you in what direction to go, or they reveal something important about the universe. Exactly in the same way as the discovery of a particle leads to the revelation that the world is materialistic. But at the same time, a discovery of a wave will lead to the realization that the world is a wave. The biggest contradiction in reality. In this contradiction, you can have causality and determinism at the same time. But I wouldn't use these terms because they associate, possibly for the listeners, you guys, too much with classical physics. But things can be, oddly enough, completely determined in a way. You can have a positive future by organizing your thinking, organizing your life in towards positive things. What could be positive things? Well, you know them. Generosity, helpfulness, caring, taking care, empathy. Why not say hello to someone with a big smile? That will make a big change in the whole of universe. Not in this existential idea that is only in this small local reality. In this room, maybe. Somebody's listening to me, Kalle Lundahl. If I smile to him, it not only affects me and Kalle, but the whole universe. How could I say this? Well, we know as a fact local reality does not exist. Reality is global. So what I do here affects everything in the world. And it doesn't even have to mean that it affects anything in the world. The Alpha Centauri or Betelgeuse or something less could even affect more. Welcome to the law of attraction. Something that is much more in line with how physics actually works. And I would like to protest. I'm not a fan of criticism, but I'm using poor old Jean-Paul Sartre today to show you in the more correct direction. He was obsessed his whole life with classical physics, the idea that the world was ulteriorly meaningless, thereby projecting this idea. And when he projected, he was not aware of it. Awareness, observation goes hand in hand. You must be aware of what you project. So if you project something positive, you do it by your own choice. Then you are aware. Jean-Paul Sartre was not aware. And here comes the doom. Oddly enough, despite he was obviously thinking he was being objective, he was obviously thinking he was doing something that was in correlation with facts. He was not. He was just the opposite. By not knowing what he was projecting, he was actually embodying complete subjectivity. Emotional subjectivity is thinking that sort of negativity as he did. So oddly enough, projecting positivity leaves you in reality, gets you to be in concord with reality. And now we actually got pretty quick in a couple of minutes to the absolute opposite to this Sartrean existentialism. It's a world where you decide what exists. So you don't exist by chance, by causality, by determinism. You choose to exist. And you choose the universe. Only then will it become objective. When the observer, who is you, whatever that might be, is in on it. This is not far from the point that Heidegger does with Dasein. To be in the world is to take absolute responsibility of what you project, think, feel, your attitude. Once you do that, you will be living in the world that you understand. So, for me it's ludicrous how it could be that we're living in a world that we cannot understand. The Sartrean view, that is the world of immutable laws, classical laws. It is the world of materialism, atoms, which we can't count, therefore not knowing the next step. On the contrary, by projecting, you can actually take hold of your destiny. You can transform it into something that you can control, not in the old way, by having all the atoms in the right place. No, no. You control it by sending out right thoughts. Thoughts about connections, about purpose, about meaning. Now we are absolutely opposite to Jean-Paul Sartre in a way. But it's not that, it's even more. Because we are in parallel with the true working of the universe. You might call it physical, because there's a physical aspect. Yes, there are atoms. You could even say that Niels Bohr invented the atoms, but he was famed for his atom model. But at the same time, everything is spiritual. It is the observer. I write that up to make it absolutely clear. See if I can make it thick enough. Observer. Horrible way to spell it, sorry. The observer. Observer-dependent reality means that you create reality. Without you, there is no reality at all. Therefore, by taking charge of what you project, you will be objective. Otherwise not. Direct your thoughts in a positive way and you get positive things back. I have another argument why that works, because order, synchronicity, a direction is more in the working of the universe than absolute chaos. Atoms floating about with no direction is less real. Chance belief in a meaningless universe will actually take you away from that reality. Project meaning. See things that happens to you in a purposeful way. That will become more objective. Ignore them and you would leave reality. Isn't that odd? Do I want to say that the universe is good? Well, I think maybe you can say that. But that's not a good way to say. It's a bit more than good. It is ordered in a way that we only vaguely can understand, but it's connected to things that we usually, at least in a Western society, would name positive. It doesn't make any sense to meet other people in a negative way. Not saluting somebody in morning will lead that your life changes to the worse. In India, in Japan, China, in the East they call it karmic response. And I think that's a good way of understanding the true working of the universe. If you project these things, you will get it back. If you project the idea that the world is made of particles, very common when you are doing an experimentation, you will get atoms, you will get particles. You receive what you project. If you project positivity, it is not a positive feeling or an emotion. No, it is order. So it's bigger than positive. Of course, positive is like if you have one of these Venn diagram, positive is in here. I write positive here. But it's much bigger than that. This is the working of the universe, which we can only vaguely understand. But positivity is an absolute sine qua non. You need to have that, definitely. And if you start treating yourself in a better way and others, you will be rewarded. This is the working of the universe. So you can either go by the universe or you can contradict the universe. If you contradict the universe, there will be something to be paid. karmic response, if you like to. In Christianity we call it hell. But you need to gather that a little hell can come directly or in this life already. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the next life. I would like to say this, you will reap the consequences. So if you put positive things out, you will reap things. Things will attract to you. That is synchronicity. Something deeply studied, especially by Heisenberg and Pauli. I used to call Pauli De Pauli. I missed that. Pauli reminds me of my favorite area in Hamburg, St. Paul. But yeah, project the good things and you will be in parallel with the universe. Refrain from that and you will leave the universe. And the universe, it is a bit like saying, I don't believe there are any cliffs, and then walk into the cliffs and you will reap the punishment. It's like, I don't want to have these winter tires that are very good to have in Sweden. Because I don't believe in winter tires or I don't believe in snow. Believing in classical physics is a bit like that. You believe in things that doesn't work out. They might be true according to a very narrow and small system, the classical system, used in very small cases when you build a bridge. But it's so little. This is what Heidegger calls Vorhanden. That reality is an agreed upon reality. It's the most shallow reality. It's the most distant reality. It's the reality of gossip. It's the reality of shallow emotions. So despite what you be led to believe, the ideas of facts that are not connected to an observer, there is no such things in physics. The observer needs to be there. He or she or that or whatever is the factor that you cannot get rid of. And we try to get rid of. The observer is a bit like the eye looking into Escher's painting, or the hand that paints, that we try to get rid of, to create this fake idea of objectivity. This horrendous goal that we humans been obsessed with, until we realized that the observer, the thing that we try to get rid of, is what we need to understand the world. And the observer wants good things. It wants order. It wants direction. He or she or that does not see things like this chair falling or somebody knocking the door and saying hello as meaningless happenstances. Oh no, never. They always have a purpose. So welcome to the world of a purposeful world. A world of direction. A world that you improve little by little every day. Maybe it is what's just 1 per mil. But day by day you improve things in the whole of the universe. And now you also will find a motivation. There is zero motivation in the classical model. Zero. And how did Jean-Paul Sartre live? Well, he lived horribly, egoistically, cheating with his wife and pretending to be something he wasn't. He even gave up taking in the Nobel Prize. So when he was offered the money, he said, "Oh, I am above it." 2 years later, he rang into Stockholm and cried in the phone, "I want my money." Thank God they didn't give it to him. That is karmic reap. And you will reap the consequences, and they will be gruesome. But you will also receive positive things. If you improve your acting, you will get more and more, and in the end it will explode. It will be fantastic, because this is the build up with the universe. Walk the universal way, and you will be rewarded.
Thank you. Chris?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So Hans, we both agree that meditation is very important.
Yes.
And we both agree that, let's say, money is important. So,
Well, it was sort of obvious the last thing.
And let's say that, but listening to you, I understand that ethics is very important.
Well, it's the first step of the ladder in yoga, for instance. And I wouldn't even call it ethics. Ethics is correct, of course, but this is walking with the universe, so to speak, in a positive way.
But let's imagine what would be the, let's say, perfect meditation. Let's say I want more money, but at the same time I want to be ethical. Let's say...
Well, I would recommend that you just think positive things, and then it will come to you.
But I think it's a little bit fuzzy. Let's say one friend of mine actually found some 1,000 euros on a street in
Okay.
and so something that is at least, let's say, you can imagine a scene again. I can say that I found, let's say, money on the street, a huge amount of money, but at the same time I'm doing something ethical, let's say giving to some homeless or something. But I don't know, how would you do it, a short meditation money? Would you give any proposal, ethical meditation money, or is there anything like that?
Yeah, well, I would recommend that you are not being too obsessed. If you want something too much, you are actually implying it's not there in your life. So the law of attraction is that think wealth. And if you try to get it too hard, you will be like Mr. Black. He really wanted it too much. And then the universe won't give it to you. It's like you are implying and it's not there in the universe.
But
so if you fixate too much, it's not so much smile, you will actually repel. And I think that's what most people do. They really want to have this, and then you repel it.
I agree with that to a certain degree.
Yes.
I get the point, but if you read the New Testament, as many times I have it do it,
yes.
Jesus says, knock, 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 and it will be given to you. And there are some...
you need to change yourself. This is the hardest thing, is to change yourself. That is the big task. And I think today people don't change themselves. Whereas, for instance, in the East, you do it day by day. And especially in Lutheranism, you're already absolved. You don't have to do anything. That's absolutely, I don't know what to call it. It is not in love with the universe. You need to do something, but don't do it too strong. It's the middle way. It's in between. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I'm still thinking about the perfect meditation.
Continue. It's good. We will end there. Okay. Thank you very much, Kalle.
Thank you.
Have a pleasant afternoon. Bye-bye.